Hello, hello, and welcome to Oracle Hour. My name is Sabrina Rising. I'm a psychic medium and a spiritual teacher, and it's my honor to channel spirit on your behalf. Thank you for joining me live at our new time, Thursdays at 1 p.m. It's good to be with you all. I can see that we have people joining us, so welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, you can see me, but I can't see you. So please come and join us at YouTube at Sabrina Rising, and put your question in the chat. I always answer questions on a first come, first serve basis, unless, of course, you're an Inner Oracle community member, in which case you get your priority access in the chat. We go a little bit deeper in readings and coaching and spiritual guidance. And there's the link to join. If you'd like to join our channel, we'd love to have you as an Inner Oracle community member. We have our Oracle gathering coming up at the end of the month on February 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific. It's a 2-hour mediumship demonstration and psychic gallery event where we connect with loved ones in spirit, and I offer intimate readings for everybody who joins. And it's a beautiful opportunity to be in community, to be part of our growing community. You also get access to, that's the link if you just want to join the gathering one time. Also, if you join the membership, you get access every month. Okay, so you also get access to our Facebook group, which I go live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. in our Facebook group, and we have Lyriel in our Facebook group that does intuitive tarot on Fridays, which is always a beautiful, beautiful offering. So thank you again for being here today. Today we're going to talk about who's thinking your thoughts. Okay, I'll teach on this topic for a good 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll jump into live readings. So if you have questions, if you have things that you want looked into, if you have a question about your personal development journey, your healing journey, whatever it is that you're wanting to deal with in your life, if you have questions about your intuition development or mediumship development, please feel free to put your question in the chat. There's no question that's off limits. Okay. So, so let's talk a little bit today about who's thinking your thoughts. So this is an interesting way of framing it, because you would think, who else could be thinking my thoughts other than me? So, and this provokes a deeper question: who am I? Right? And this is at the source of so much personal transformation. Hi, Rhonda, good to see you. There's so much can be answered if we just answer this one question for ourselves. You are not the identity that you have been conditioned to believe you are, the identity that you've created. Okay, so the identities we have as human beings are roles that we play, whether it's mother, teacher, daughter, sister, friend, employee, grandchild, whatever the role is that you've assigned for yourself. This is a role that you're playing, but it's not the essence of who you are. The essence of who you are is a whole, perfect, and complete expression of source consciousness. So the part of you that's thinking your thoughts is the conditioned self. The conditioned self is what happens in early childhood between the ages of 0 to 8, roughly. We take on the values, the ideals, the beliefs of our family system, and they shape our identity. They shape our subconscious values and long held beliefs about who we are, what we can have, what we cannot have. And this, in turn, will affect the environment in our lives, like the environment that we manifest both consciously and unconsciously. Okay. And so this conditioned self is full of thoughts. It's full of thoughts about the past. It's thoughts about the future, thoughts about what I should do, what I shouldn't do. How can I create a better experience for myself? Essentially, the thinking mind is designed for survival. Okay. And so when you're thinking your thoughts, you're always thinking about, how can I survive? How can I survive better? How can I survive the moment, the future, the past, to the next day, the situation, the relationship, the conflict, whatever it is that you're experiencing. Okay, so this is what the thinking mind is designed for. It's designed for survival. It's not designed to give you access to the realm of infinite possibilities, which is the realm of the spirit, which is the realm of your higher self. These, to me, are synonyms of each other. And when you have a spiritual practice that anchors you and allows you to connect to the your higher self, your spiritual inner experience. And it's unique for everybody. Not everybody has the same experience of spirit. Like my relationship with spirit will look different than yours. Okay. So I don't want to set a general idea of what this is supposed to look like for everybody. This is a very personal thing that we're developing, is how do I tap into my essence? Not just feeling love in my heart or love in my body, but how do I really tap into universal life force, universal energy moving through me, that's full of intelligence, that's full of information, that's always benevolently guiding me and into situations and circumstances that are going to help me accomplish the things that I deeply desire, attract the things that I deeply want to have in this lifetime so that I can feel fulfilled. Okay. And this is again what we're here to unfold within us, right? We're here to undo all of our limiting beliefs and move out of our conditioning so we can have access to our higher self. Okay. So for the purpose of this conversation, I will simply refer to it as your higher self. Sometimes using too many terms to name the same thing can be confusing, especially if you're new to this practice. Okay. So your higher self is the fulfilled part of you. It's the full potential already achieved and accomplished. And it's basically guiding the 3D version of you into merging with this full realized potential. Okay. So when you think about who's thinking my thoughts, we think about the thoughts that I've been conditioned to believe about myself based on my childhood, based on my experiences in everyday life, and based on what's happening in the collective. Okay. So this is, notice that the more there are thoughts being shared on a community level, the more those thoughts become yours too. And that's not an accident, because now we're talking about a field of consciousness. So your thoughts are not unique to you and your conditioning. There's your conditioning, and then there's the environment that you're raised in, and your conditioning matches your environment. Always. This is always true. In fact, if you look at the example of the people that you hang around, you tend to become like them, right? You tend to pick up their habits, you tend to pick up their thoughts, you tend to pick up their language, their way of operating, their beliefs, their values. We tend to be influenced by our environment. That's because thoughts are not individual. It's actually, the thinking process is a collective experience. That's why it's so important to pay attention to what you're absorbing, what you're taking in, what you're aligning with, what you're agreeing with, because you're taking on the thinking of these external influences, these communities, these influencers that can be part of our everyday, that are part of our everyday, especially if you go on the internet, if you go on social media. We take in the collective conditioning, and our collective conditioning is mired in fear-based thinking, in survival-based thinking. So thinking in and of itself keeps us in survival mode. When we rely on our thinking process, we're actually staying in survival mode, and we're usually participating in fear-based thoughts in order to survive. Right. So this is very important. Okay. So when we think about who's thinking my thoughts, it's my conditioned self that's aligning with the collective consciousness. All right. So when you go into an environment, for example, that doesn't resonate for you, people believe in something you don't believe in, or they practice things you don't practice, or they're making suggestions that feel, out of resonance for you, you would remove yourself from that environment, right? You would take a step back and say, I don't want to participate in this way of thinking because it doesn't align with me, right? It's the same with your own thoughts. Think about the thoughts that you have on a daily basis that might be in direct conflict with what you say you want, how you say you want to feel, what you say you want to accomplish. And we have to withdraw our participation from this thinking process. Your thoughts are not the truth. They're just random, conditioned, insights or snapshots into what your brain is doing based on your past experience, based on the external influences that are coming in. They're not you. Okay. In fact, who you are is beyond thinking. And the way to master this, the way to make peace with this, because we can't erase our thoughts, the idea of learning to quiet the mind and, erase our thoughts or annihilate our thinking process is not realistic in spiritual practice. What we want to do is develop enough awareness that we can observe our thoughts, but not identify them, not become them, not engage in them. It's kind of like when you observe an argument, you don't want to get in the middle of that argument. You want to be mediator, or you want to be observer and perhaps guide or help whoever it is that's in an argument make peace with themselves. Okay. So it's the same when you observe your own thinking process. You don't want to get into the conflict that your thoughts are having, because your thoughts are always conflicting with themselves. Should I or shouldn't I? Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. If you really pay attention to your thinking mind, you'll see that there's always conflict there, because it's warring for survival. And if you take time to develop inner stillness and use the breath and any grounding techniques that feel accessible to you to align with your higher self, which is the term we're using today, so that you can really tap into the essence of who you are, you can detach from your thinking, just like you can detach from the circumstances that are happening outside of you, and really observe how you feel and make a choice on how you're going to think, how you're going to act, what you're going to say in that moment based on whatever aligns with your own value system. This gives us power, especially, I say especially in these days, but this has always been true. Human beings have always been at the effect of their conditioning, at the effect of their environment, at the effect of the collective consciousness that they have either chosen or perhaps ended up in. Maybe you didn't you don't necessarily choose the community that you're in, or you don't necessarily choose the school that you go to, or the people that influence you in your day-to-day basis. And I'm asking you to, this is actually a challenge to evaluate the communities that you are participating in, the beliefs that you've adopted as part of your own, and really challenge your thinking process and say, do these thoughts actually belong to me? Right? Are these thoughts that I want to be thinking, are they constructive? Do they feed the identity that I want to shape and mold for myself, so that I can live a life that's aligned with my higher self? Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, you're not the identity that you've created, but you can actually in 3D create an identity that feels empowered, that feels like it's an expression of source consciousness. Okay. That's less about what you do and what other people think about what you do. And it's more about how you feel in every moment. Okay. And so it's very important to learn how to disassociate with the thoughts that you're having, and just see them as random happenings in the mind, so that you can really cultivate your awareness and develop a relationship with your essence, with your higher self, so that you can receive that intuitive guidance and feel those soul nudges in those moments when it's time to make a decision about something, when it's time to move forward in a particular area, when it's time to sometimes even make a hard choice to withdraw from a certain community or a collective consciousness, because you just realize you have different values. Okay. This is all in the vein of sovereignty. Okay. We cannot be sovereign if our thoughts don't belong to us, if our thoughts are not thoughts that align with the version of ourselves that we want to embody. Okay. This is so, so, so important. Okay. So notice today, in your practice, or perhaps you come back and listen to this portion of the video, some of the thoughts that you have about yourself, about your life, about the world, and where you stand on all those things, and learn to develop enough awareness so that you can make different choices that empower you, that actually align with the identity that you want to create, not just the one you inherited, or the one that was conditioned, or the one that's influenced by external sources, but the one that you want to cultivate from zero, from you, from love, from your higher self, from divine guidance, which you can create in any moment. Every single one of us has an opportunity to just, uh, um, have a clean slate, if you will, or just start from zero and be reborn. In any moment, we can make a decision to just kind of reset our thinking process and say, okay, what do I really want to align with, so that I can actually feel like I'm 100% responsible for the quality of my life and the quality of my circumstances and how I'm choosing to show up on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Of course, this is my wish for you and for all beings everywhere. Thanks for hanging in with me today, you guys. Hello, everybody. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Anisha. And hello, Julie. Good to see you. Hi, Jenna. Good to see you all. Okay, beautiful. Lyriel is here with us today, and she's in charge of the chat. Lyriel, do you want to put some comments up on the screen? Nisha says, "Hi, Sabrina and all. I'm a first timer here. Welcome to Oracle Community. I'm at a professional transition point and feel the pull to make a meaningful change in this next chapter. I have long struggled with indecisiveness and being bold enough to have a vision for this life. As a result, I'm finding it difficult to define what the right next career move looks like. I truly value any perspective, inspiration, or guides." Okay, good. So hopefully you've been welcome to our community. Well, hopefully you've been listening to this part about like, aligning with thoughts that actually serve the version of you that you want to embody. Okay. So part of the reason why I'll just tune into your energy. I always give spiritual guidance in my psychic hit on your question. So part of why you've been struggling, we could bring back the first question. Here, it's okay, I'll do it. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of conflict avoidance. That's at the root of your indecision and sort of like trying to see what's out there, what's available out here, what's the move I can make that will cause the least friction, the least amount of discomfort for me and other people. And that's part of the reason why you're stuck. Okay. So there my advice to you would be to really tune in to what brings you the most joy, letting go of all other external factors, like whether it's pleasing others or keeping the peace. Again, there's a big energy of conflict avoidance that I'm picking up with you. So, and this is a pattern in your family relationships and in your home and so on. The indecisiveness or the unwillingness to commit can also be a reflection of like just the fear of missing out, like if I make this decision, then I might not, I'll miss out on this particular opportunity. This is not a real thing, by the way. This is for you and for anybody watching. It's impossible to miss out because you're always exactly where you're supposed to be. This is universal law. If you make a choice to be in a particular spot and a particular time, having a certain experience, you were supposed to be there. There's no, oh, I could have gone this way. It could have, but it didn't. And the point, and wondering why or what I should have done in order to make a different decision is futile because it sort of it takes away the opportunity we have to fully embrace the circumstances, the moment, the choice that we made, and all the learning that's available in that moment. Okay. So, as far as career is concerned, just to answer your question directly, it feels like it's a management move that you need to make, like a more upper management type of move, which is going to allow you to have a bit more responsibility, being in charge of people. And this is something that I feel is like long overdue. Okay. There is a we talk about not being bold enough. It's time for you to sort of declare your leadership in the organization that you're working in, and this is an internal shift. Once you make this internal shift, everything else will fall into place. Okay, so you're not choosing yourself, and you're waiting for something to choose you, to something to sort of hit you in the face and be so obvious. It has to work the other way around. You have to choose you, and you have to choose what it is that brings you the most joy and lean into it, because I actually feel like you've got, like I said, there's an upper management, a thread here that I'm picking up on, that's calling you, and it requires you, because you're very good at helping people resolve issues. You're very good at like, seeing the fairness in things, the managing. Yeah, there's a real diplomatic energy to you. So this is a skill that you can use, but it also prevents you from making decisions, right? So again, I want you to really focus on declaring your own leadership and choosing yourself, and then being willing to take on more responsibility. So healing some of that. Conflict avoidance is going to help you big time. Okay. And this is inner work that needs to happen. there's no psychic reading that can preclude you from doing your own inner work, your own healing work, the mindset shift that needs to take place in order for you to really step into the next level, the next version of yourself. Okay. So this is what spirit's asking of you is like, meet me at that point of leadership, like commit to something, declare something for yourself, and I will meet you there. Okay, that's my message for you. If you're still here, please validate. Otherwise, come back and let me know if that resonated for you. Okay, beautiful. Who's next? Hi, Julie. Julie, good to see you. She says, love to know if my spirit guide grandfather has anything further to share in regards to what is coming my way. Okay, let's see. It's a very specific request. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's interesting, because this is financial. It feels like it's a financial in nature. Like there is either an amount or some money or some relief around money or some even distribution of money or something like that. It's almost like a repair amount. Feels like that's coming through that your grandfather's sort of pointing to saying like this is you're going to be taken care of, there's going to be something there for you to land, to feel comfortable in, to feel safe and provided for. I know that this is like sort of an ongoing thing that you've been grappling with, Julie, around like, like how can I take care of myself, how can I stand on my own 2 feet. And I feel like he is, I too have misplaced my work portfolio, my life works, can you help me find it? Okay, let me see. One question at a time. So I feel like he's kind of like saying like you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna be okay. There's some money coming in that's going to allow you to just take a breath and find your footing and trust that what you're building is meant to last. I actually feel like you're in a phase now where you're building something for the future that has a foundation for the future rather than just like, trying to heal. Does that make sense? I feel like not that you've done your healing work because we're always healing, but um there is some stability coming, structure and stability, and this is what your grandfather's helping with. Okay, and it's almost like he wants you to have this, he wants you to have something that's yours. Okay, this is really important for you, Julie. And what was the other question? Was about something misplaced. I too have misplaced my work portfolio, my life works. Oh, yeah. Did you check? I want you to check that. I feel like there's like a loft area somewhere. There's like a loft area. It feels like it's on the second floor. That's the first vision I get as soon as I tune into your question. It's like second floor loft area, something like that. It's kind of tucked away. It could even be in a box. I don't know if you've just moved or moved like gone from one place to another or transported it from one place to another. But it feels like it's up high. So that's the best I can offer as far as locating a missing object. Yeah, it feels like it's up high, and I'm seeing this vision of like a frame. So it could be an attic or it could be a loft area, but it's on the second floor, it's up high, and it's in a box somewhere. You will find it. You will find it. You just have to let go of your attachment to looking for it. Sometimes we can get very obsessed with like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? As soon as you regulate your nervous system and you find that point of equanimity and you trust that's going to show up, it'll be there. You will find it. As soon as that's the shift. That's that internal shift that says, I know it's here and I know it will come to me. Okay. And I want you to do that process around the work as well, around the finding your place in the world, and finding out what you're going to do with your work and where you need to be next and so on. Like it's that same inner shift that I'm talking about. Like as soon as you shift and say, okay, I know that the right thing will appear, it will reveal itself to me, where I'm supposed to put my attention, where I'm supposed to put my focus. As long as there's a willingness to meet spirit there, a spirit will never let you down. Okay. And this is your grandfather who's guiding this process as well. Okay. That's my message for you, Julie. I hope that resonates for you. And please, if you're asking questions, please stay for validation. And Anisha says, thank you, Sabrina. Aspects certainly resonate with me. Okay, beautiful. Good. Yeah, let's heal the conflict avoidance, and let's take, that bold leadership within, that bold decision making within. Internal shift will help the external circumstances. Okay. And let us know how that unfolds for you, the change in your job, and so on, because it's coming. All right. Beautiful. Who else is here today? Hi, Jenna. Good to see you. Jenna says, hi, Sabrina. I lost this really important drawing a medium gave me. I had for years. It's a picture of me. Any chance I will find it? I've looked everywhere. Wow. Today we're doing missing objects. Okay. The picture of me is around a tree with tears. Oh, and my third eye with a bright light. And a hand also comes down with a ring in the finger. Thanks. Okay, good. Mm. It's in the house for sure. I also see a building structure. Um, I want to say this might sound crazy to you, Jenna, but I want you to look under the bed. Okay. Look under the bed. I don't even know if it's your bed, but look under a bed. It's almost like a bed. There's a room with two beds in it. And I want you to look underneath the mattress and see if it's there. I feel like you've tucked it away. You've put it away somewhere for safekeeping. And obviously you have misplaced it, but I think it's there. It's in a house, and it looks like it's under a bed, and it looks like there's a hardwood floor as well. Okay, so I want you to spend some time looking for it. You will find it. I can see that the picture is meaningful to you, and the picture is I want to say too that the picture sort of depicts the connection with a loved one in spirit. But ultimately, to it's the art is there to like help you connect with your own intuition. Okay, when you say the third eye is especially, it's like I have a vision of you developing your own ability to connect to your loved ones, like your own mediumship, your own conversation with your spirit guides. She says, okay, I will look again. Any messages with the image? Yeah, this is what I'm saying now. um the message is for you to connect with your own spirit guides, your own loved ones, to develop your own intuition and develop your mediumship as well. Okay. It's a very beautiful image of you sort of like connecting with nature. And this is a natural part of you. The you with the tree is like, this is a natural extension of who you are, the person who can feel your loved ones in spirit, who can communicate with them, and who can be in that embodiment of unconditional love. Okay, so that's very clear to me what the image represents. And it's time for you, because you're so drawn to this work and you're so drawn to connecting with loved ones in spirit, that you're being called to develop this aspect of yourself. Okay, and I think it's going to help you serve other people as well in their grief and in their longing for their connection to eternal love. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for being here, Jenna. Good. All right, questions. Totally resonates more now than ever in my life. Good. Beautiful. Yeah, I would love to. I mean, again, you can come and do mediumship mentoring with me. Or you can develop, there's many courses you can take online. I think, and there's online courses as well if you want to do like a group experience. This time for you to develop your intuition. There is the link for the academy, Jenna, if you want it, and take a look at some of the courses that I have there. But it's time. It's time for you. Julie says, I have moved. Yes. Okay, good. Beautiful. Then, second floor, attic loft area. That's where it is. Go find it and come back and tell me that you found it and come back and let me know how that unfolds. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Who else is here today? Mm, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's good to see you. Okay. What's Rhonda saying? You're welcome. You're welcome. She's okay. Good. Um, Sarada saying, I'm leaving the food bank where I volunteer, but I'm all ears. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I see. You're leaving the food bank today to listen to this broadcast. I understand now. I thought you were like asking for a message around that. Um, it's interesting that I felt called to pull you up on screen because um, yeah, I actually feel like this volunteer opportunity is something that's coming to an end too. Like there's going to be some other demands on your time that call you into service that's going to be a little bit different. So your volunteering is going to change as well. So be prepared for that. There's other projects coming down the pipe for you that are actually going to really touch your heart, and it has to do with mothers and daughters. Okay. That's the message I'm getting for you, Rhonda. Like it's very clear that you're either, you're helping you're either in a it's either a women's shelter or something like that, but there's something around the mother and daughter relationship where you're volunteering your time, and I think you'll be able to use some of the gifts that you've cultivated over the last year to be of service there. Okay, so that's just a spontaneous message that came through for you today as I was channeling. And if you are here and listening, please validate and or let me know how that unfolds for you. Okay. Beautiful. Vicky's here. Vicky says, hi, Sabrina and Oracle community. Do I have any messages? Let me see, Vicky. I have for you. Mhm. Mm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the focus is really on there's a real strong emphasis on romance and wanting to create partnership and love and dating and putting yourself out there. I actually feel like there's been a boost in this area. So I don't know if you've done some of the work around like, looking to see what's out there. Maybe you put a profile up online, or you're opened up your mind to dating, or you're doing some work around softening the edges of your heart to be willing to let someone into your life. But it feels like there's been some work around this, which is good. This has been a long time coming. Okay. And there's been a lot of conditioning around keeping yourself safe and staying in your comfort zone and not taking a risk emotionally. And so this is important for you. It's important for you to, Vicky says, I have opened my heart and mind. Okay, good, beautiful. Yeah, it feels like there's just been some progress internally. Your energy feels different around this, which is great. This is going to help you expand and call in at the same time. Okay, so again, everything that we deeply desire, we want to shift internally first, and then we want to be able to hold the frequency of that and allow things to meet us there. This is how we live a life that's intuitively guided rather than using our minds to manipulate and force circumstances and manage externals. We want to be able to sit with the desire and hold the frequency of that which you deeply want in your life. Okay, and that's how opportunities come. It's so important for you to hold this energy right now, to be in that open mind, open heart, doing things that help you feel attractive and desirable and help you feel like you want to be seen and you want to be touched, you want to be loved, you want to be met in those places. And putting that out there is going to invite this into your life. Okay. So I love that for you. And this is the message I have. It's just to continue to do this work and to give it time. Okay. Because it's a process. It's a process of, loving yourself. She says, thank you, open-minded heart. Beautiful. Yeah. It's a process of really coming out, coming out of your shell. And it's going to take a minute to find the right fit or to meet the right person, to find someone who can really hold your heart. I feel like this is going to take a minute. But don't be, this is part of the process, is to put yourself out there and to really yeah, be willing to just have fun and get to know people. And you see this as an experiment in self love. Okay. It's so powerful. I wish everybody saw dating as an experiment in self love. Just to see, like, okay, how do I gauge my relationship to myself based on what's out there, based on what I'm attracting, based on what I feel drawn to. Okay, so I'll just leave you with that, and use that as information. So to guide you in your process as you're opening yourself up to the possibility of love and romance. Okay, beautiful. Hi, Julie. I see you. Good. Do we have any other questions for today? No other questions. Okay, beautiful. Okay, everybody, I'm going to leave it there. And if you have any questions for the Oracle, if you want to comment, you can always leave a comment on this video. I'll be back online Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be doing readings there as well. If you want to join the Oracle Gathering on February 28th, for those of you that want to be on screen with me and receive deeper coaching, mediumship connections, and psychic readings, there's the link to buy a one-time ticket. Or you can join our membership, which is joining the channel essentially, and you get access to my library, you get access to the Facebook community, and yeah, just a group of like-minded individuals that are also healing and learning to develop their own intuition. There's the link to join. Otherwise, we will wrap it there for today, and I leave you with all of my love. I will see you all on Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Bye for now.